Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Hollywood after the fire. Where does Hollywood go from here? And I want to be very clear before we get into the video that we're not happy about the fires.
Oh my gosh, you have to clarify that?
You have to clarify that with people. Yeah, they actually think that people are happy about people losing their homes. We're not. I think it's horrible. I think a lot of people lost their houses, even if you don't like particular people or you don't like Hollywood. I don't think it's good to be cheering on someone losing their home. But we're going to talk about kind of where Hollywood goes from here. And there's talk that a lot of production might just kind of move out of Hollywood. There are a lot of people that have been hanging around Hollywood for a while might just leave. This might be the end of it for them.
Well, a lot of actors already left a long time ago.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would have left. But we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Trump appointing, I didn't even know this was a thing, special ambassadors to Hollywood. And of course, they're all, right-leaning conservative people, his ambassadors from the president. And we're going to talk about how this affects animation. Animation most affected because a lot of people working in the animation industry, I guess they lost their homes in the fire. And if I were a studio, tragedy aside, I'd kind of be looking at the situation like, I'd be like, hey, the fires, that's kind of a problem, right? I mean, it's kind of a problem. We were already thinking about outsourcing. We were already thinking about maybe moving production someplace else.
Right. This is going to hasten it.
And this is going to hasten it because they might be looking at the situation being like, yeah, it could have been our studio. I mean, it got very close to burning down studios and RIP the Bunny Museum. I guess the Bunny Museum burnt down.
I know.
And no actual bunnies, to the best of my knowledge, were in the Bunny Museum. But we're going to talk about this because, I think this is actually going to force people to flee Hollywood faster. And it's interesting about these ambassadors that Trump is appointing and him wanting to save production. But I don't think he's necessarily talking about keeping all the production in California. There's been a lot of talk of moving the entertainment business to other states, including Nevada and Texas and Florida.
Florida has been one I've heard about. Yeah,
Arizona. And I have to wonder if this isn't going to... and that's a bad analogy. Just scatter Hollywood to the wind at this point. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the aftermath. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You will get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So where should we start? Should we talk about the ambassadorship first, and then go
I might as well.
All right. So for those of you who missed the news, this is bizarre, but okay. Has this ever happened before? A president appointed special ambassadors to Hollywood. Usually the president is in the back pocket of Hollywood, but this president's like, I'm going to pick 3 conservative dudes and they're going to be my ambassadors coming from the Hollywood Reporter.
They're all people that Hollywood seems to hate.
They're all people that, especially Mel Gibson. Like, they really don't like Mel Gibson.
Do you remember they hated him originally because he said anti-Semitic stuff and that? But now they're like, a lot of them are saying it, so it doesn't matter.
I know, right? Now they're like, well, he's Christianish. So he's
a bigot.
He's a bigot. Somehow he's a bigot. We'll figure it out. In his post, the president-elect refers to Hollywood, California as a very troubled place due to runaway production, among other things. Now, weirdly enough, that's a pretty cool.
I almost bought that for you for Christmas.
Oh,
that's
really?
why it's there.
Is that why it's there?
Yes, I was looking at it when you were stressed. I was like, don't notice it, and then you did, and I was like, dang it, I almost bought that for you. For Christmas.
It's pretty cool. But just as a side note, apparently Governor Newsom is going to raise the flag full mast on Monday for inauguration. Just a couple of states are doing that. The flags, of course, are at half mast now because of Jimmy Carter, and they think he's doing this to suck up to Trump because Trump wants to give him some Trump bucks to help production in California.
They want Trump now.
Everybody wants Trump bucks, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, we talk about this in other videos with the media and stuff. I'm like, are they really going to bet on that Trump outrage? Because I don't know. The feeling I'm getting is everybody wants him for something now.
I think they're going to bet on it for news media originally, but I don't know how it's going to work for them. But Hollywood, it seems like they need help. And they're like, quick, hurry up, kiss up the dirt on Donald Trump.
Yeah,
that's what these ambassadors are for. The ambassadors, it says right here, the aim of boosting domestic production of film and TV shows as the entertainment industry increasingly opts to shoot in other countries. Well, that's because they're giving them a bunch of money in tax breaks. If you give them tax break money, they shoot here. The problem is I don't think they deserve tax break money. So that's a whole other situation.
Yeah, so he is talking about resuscitating Hollywood. They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last 4 years, to foreign countries, back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. All caps.
Well, if he succeeds, though, these people, it's gonna be like that the guy sweating with the button meme. He's gonna be like, "Oh shit, which one do I push?" Because
right?
you want to hate him, or if he saved your ass, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, we have our jobs, but it's Trump that did it. Shit. And they were all talking before he got elected. They were like, "What are we gonna do if Trump wins? We're all gonna leave the country."
You still can knock yourself out.
So he said, "These very talented people will be my eyes and ears, and I will get done what they suggest. It will again be like the United States of America itself, the golden age of Hollywood."
Well, given where Hollywood is right now, I think it's going to take more than a couple years to fix it.
So Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone, all three gentlemen have been effectively kind of blacklisted or delisted from Hollywood. It's pretty interesting. I remember when we were talking about the union stuff, and we'll get into that. Sylvester Stallone, I guess, left the union, and everybody was attacking him during the strikes, but he left because they're like, yeah, they kind of F people over.
They kind of do, which, we brought up, and how dare we? Be careful, so I want to make 10 videos about it.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting to the animation part. The message signals Trump may intervene in the flight of production away from the country and other locations with more generous tax incentives for film and TV shows. Golly, isn't this a very different tone from the Hollywood Reporter? Before they're like, we hate Trump.
I know, right? But now he's trying to save Hollywood. Yeah, because we're talking about the UK, which we brought up many times with Star Wars and stuff, and Canada and Australia. Basically, they've been giving them giant tax incentives. Like, you come over here and they'll give you a percentage back. So you might get $50 million back on a film. And then it brings your budget down significantly, so that if your movie just does half of what they expected to do originally, it's not as big of a loss as it was if you didn't get the $50 million back. Looking at you, Disney.
Wow, I wonder if there will be strings attached to it that they're not gonna like. Like, yeah, we'll give you some money, we'll give you some Trump bucks, but no woke shit in the movies or something like that.
Make sure you hire Americans or something.
Make sure you hire Americans. No DI mandates. No, yeah. I could totally see that.
Is Hollywood going to walk back some of that stuff? Because remember, they put all those things in place for being able to be eligible for awards and crap.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And there's things that should have been up for awards, but it wasn't diverse enough, so it couldn't be. And it's like, that's just dumb.
Yeah, that's been an ongoing issue because the Oscars were like, yes, you have to have so many people from category A, B, and C, or you can't be up for an award. Doesn't matter how good your movie is. You can't get an award. So they're talking about, all stuff leaving the country. And Canada and Australia being hot spots for visual effects and
post-production.
Yeah,
30% back. And it's a huge incentive for Hollywood to keep sending their stuff, for studios to keep doing that. And I know Newsom and other people have been trying to win them back here in California, but they said it's been a massive, exodus for these places to go. They're basically just hanging out in Canada and, the UK and Australia because it's much cheaper for them.
Yeah, I mean, the golden age of Hollywood, everybody was kind of centralized in Hollywood. I personally don't think it's a good idea to have everybody in Hollywood just because of, what happened with the fires is a very good example and all the, problems in California. But, it looks like if they get Lifeline, they're going to have to kiss Trump's butt. It's like, that's not what they wanted. That is the exact opposite of what they wanted. So let's talk about this because the LA Times just put this out a day or two ago. And they said that the fires are actually hastening a lot of people's decisions to possibly just quit the industry completely.
Yeah, a lot of people were on the fence about leaving because the jobs have dried up. We've talked about different people how they should switch careers. They have switched careers because they just knew the writing was on the wall. We've seen these new contracts get pushed through. But like we said, because we don't know anything, but we knew quite a bit apparently. Like we said, the people that were still left will get, but so many of you were not going to get, because there wasn't enough room for all of you, and that's what happened. And now it's going for animation, and a lot of people were already debating about leaving, and this might encourage people to leave because of what happened.
I would look at it like, okay, if we've got wildfires every year and just the cost of doing business here, and we can do this from anywhere else, and we don't have to deal with the insanity, let's move to freaking Arkansas or something. Like, what does it matter, right? So yeah, this is coming from the Hollywood, or no, I'm sorry, this is coming from the LA Times.
LA
The other one
Times.
was- yeah, the other one was the Hollywood Reporter. The historic Los Angeles fires dealt another blow to local film crews who were already struggling to find work.
Yes. So many people that were just not, below the line workers even, they lost their homes and stuff too. A lot of animators did.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because a lot of people in animation were affected by this. Motion picture industry payrolls averaged around 100,000 last year through November, down almost 25% from pre-pandemic levels. The number of film shoot days last year was the second lowest observed by Film LA as the region struggled to rebound from strikes. Oh my God, guys.
Wait, next part, outsourcing.
And technological change. AI. They said that AI is being adopted very quickly by visual effects studios. In fact, I've seen some advancements in it, and it's getting pretty damn good. Even the consumer grade AI is getting pretty damn good. So they said as if Hollywood didn't have enough trouble getting back on its feet, the wildfires suspended filming, destroying homes of stars and crews alike, which is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And even threatened the landmark Hollywood sign that towers over the city. They said the devastation hit as local film and TV industry workers are already struggling to adjust to vast technological, financial, and global changes that have severely reduced local production activity and eliminated thousands of jobs that may never come back.
Eliminated because the AI, the financial, because you guys wanted those new contracts. And we said, if you can get it. But understand a lot of you aren't going to be left, and that's exactly what happened. Production activity is being sent everywhere else because it's cheaper. That's what happened.
Here we go, guys. New data examined by The Times shows that a number of jobs in LA's film and TV business have barely budged since the strike by actors and writers ended in the fall of 2023.
No.
What? And with slower than hoped recovery from the strikes, combined with continuing runaway production and industry contraction, on location filming in the LA region fell 5.6% last year from 2023. The number of film shoot days totaled just 23,480, which is the second lowest observed. It's not good. And the
other one was when the COVID hit.
When COVID hit.
It's okay. It's not the first because that was COVID.
Yeah. Creative entertainment occupations such as writing and acting are nearly 40% below 2022.
Writing and acting, the people, oh my gosh, the ones who got new contracts with all those stipulations. We said this is going to mean that those who get, but a lot of you aren't going to be, hired anymore. And oh my gosh, if only someone had told you.
Yeah. So
looking at you, animation next. Sorry, you can get pissed all you want.
We'll talk about that.
But I'm telling you.
I have seen multiple very recent posts, actually, and I've been putting them out on Twitter from people on Reddit who are in the animation industry subreddits, multiple subreddits. I kind of keep an eye on it to see where things are at. And these are people that have been working in the industry for years, and they're like, we don't have work. Like, there's no work. There's no work on the horizon. Nobody's hiring. Nobody's greenlighting anything. And the fires, I think, definitely are going to make a lot of studios pause and kind of be like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good place to be. Who knows? I mean, they almost burnt the Hollywood sign down, for God's sake. But yeah, they said that, it's down. They said statewide data for the film industry show both employment and the amount of work in recent months are about what they were in the early 90s. That's not good.
Yeah, because you have to remember, too, those months that we're talking about a time when we didn't have streaming.
Yep. They said they're understating the severity of the downturn, given that thousands of people have just dropped out of Hollywood completely or left the state.
Yeah, and they're not even talking about people that are working like, in the like the on set stuff, like under the little line people doing like all that stuff. Those people got hit harder than a lot of you guys did. You don't see them. They're getting in trouble too. Where's all the talk about them?
Yeah, that's what's kind of sad about this is there's so many people that got displaced. I mean, there was like 85,000 people had to evacuate or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And they were already kind of screwed after the strike.
They were already screwed, and then they lose their houses, and then a lot of them didn't have insurance because the insurance,
through no fault of their own.
Through no fault of their own.
That was absolute dog crap what they did.
Yeah, the insurance companies canceled their policies, and then so they said the fires just add to the challenges. While Hollywood stars and directors who lost their coastal homes may have personal resources, or second properties to decamp to. Thousands of more modest industry workers live in Pasadena, Altadena, Glendale, and other areas where homes were burnt or under evacuation orders.
Yeah, Altadena got hit really hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people that are like the more like the real people, the people that are like you and me, they lost stuff too.
They said that studio executives are putting new pitches on hold, given everything that's going on right now.
Well, they can't. They were starting to refilm some things, but I think that's still like they're creeping ahead on that stuff.
Yeah, it's not good.
Even before the fires, there wasn't a lot of work to go around.
No. If you look at the employment numbers, they're massively down prior to the strikes, and they aren't showing a ton of signs of recovering. They said you need an ecosystem with a certain number of productions going on locally.
Well, locally, it's already been a problem because they keep outsourcing everything because it's cheaper to go other countries.
Yeah, and they said the seasons are shorter. That's why it's so weird. Like, you look at TV now, it's like, oh, that's a season. How many episodes is it? It's like 8.
Yeah,
like, it's not a season.
It's not a season, yeah.
They used to be like 20.
She-Ra got 5 seasons, a new one. And I'm like, they were like 5 episodes, 6 episodes each. That's not a season.
That's a Netflix
That's like 2 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, they're talking about legacy media companies losing billions of dollars on streaming. Box office sales did okay, but not everything was a huge hit. They said companies are doing what they can do to slash costs and limit losses. It's just not good. They said it's a period of asset readjustment. I'm sorry.
That boils it down. People are boiled down to asset readjustment.
Asset readjustment. So let's talk about assets and animation, since we do talk about it, even though I guess we're not allowed to talk about it, but we'll talk about it anyway. A lot of animation people affected by this, obviously, given the location where they're at, but it already wasn't good. Things were not good. You were saying that you were reading that there were people that were out of work for many months.
Well, there were people that were already like out. I've seen different people that they're raising money for, and they're like, well, they've already been out of work for a while because of, shows getting canceled, and coming to the end of their run. And like any other, not all jobs, but most jobs in Hollywood that are attached to the entertainment industry, it's a lot of gig-based things. Unless you work for a studio or you have a contract there, a lot of people are hired just to do a show or whatever, and then that's done, and then they go off to find something new. So when things wrap, that doesn't mean you get to keep your job. So a lot of people don't have work, and they haven't been able to find more work. That's just the nature of it. But what do I know?
What do you know? So we got, people worked on, there's a whole list of people. If you go out to Cartoon Brew,
yeah, there's a bunch of different things of people in animation that you can go help for fundraisers and stuff if you want to.
But this might be like if it were us.
That guy there, that Jordan guy, he was the one that his dad and his brother both had disabilities and whatever, and they couldn't get out. They're the ones that died. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him.
That's why I want to make clear, like, we're not making light of this.
No, if you want to donate to these people, by all means, please do.
Absolutely do. So
because these are like normal people like us.
Yeah, it's on Cartoon Brew, but I'm just saying, like, if it were us, and it obviously just assuming everybody made it out alive, and you're like, okay, do I want to rebuild here, or do I want to take the opportunity to maybe think about going someplace else because the industry's in shambles right now? And I'm going to have to wait how many years to build my house?
Well, that's what's going to happen, because they're saying that it could take years to get the permits and stuff to be able to rebuild. And they were talking about that in Maui, too. Someone was saying about that. They said that they weren't allowed to start building, so they had the permits, but they have a certain time frame. They don't have the permits. They have to start building by a certain time, or they lose the money that was allotted for them to rebuild, but they're not being allowed to be given their permits. And this is, I'm wondering if this is going to happen again. I know North Carolina, it's going to be a long haul for people to get their permits and things, and they won't let you build until you get them. And they're not exactly, let's put it this way, they're saying if you are a well-off person or a person with money, a person with notoriety, you get your permits through.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to have to wait.
Yeah. And animation people aren't at the top of the totem pole, right? They're going to be like, yeah, okay, you're not exactly like big name director or big name whatever. But this is awful. It's really, here they are with their families. You're seeing the houses are just completely.
Most of them, it says their pets got out. Just FYI.
Okay, that's good. I know you were looking to see.
I was very worried about the pets.
God, this is just terrible. I can't imagine, and I hope nobody listening ever has to go through this.
No, contrary to what some people think, we don't hate everyone.
God, no. This is horrible. These are just real people that lost their houses.
Yeah, and we don't wish that on anyone. But beyond the housing issue, it's already like when it comes to animation, we're going to have a culling, similar to what we saw with the writers and with the actors.
Yeah.
It was going to happen no matter what. I just don't know what these people are going to do. And I don't know if they're going to be able to go someplace else to go in. This is where, the whole thought of having another career field might come into play.
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, I'm just saying if it were us and we're like, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years to have your house rebuilt and the industry's in the shitter right now, I might actually have a conversation with you and be like, it might be time to leave. I'm just saying. So I think they're going to lose a lot of people just because they're not going to have the means to rebuild, or they don't have the desire to rebuild, or whatever. And that's across the board. I mean, this is going to be a huge, I don't want to say motivator, but demotivator, I think. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible to read.
So if you go out there, you can find a lot of the different GoFundMes if you want to help some of these people. So you can go find it there. But are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up, guys. We're going to keep an eye on this and see if Hollywood can be salvaged. I don't know.
Well, the Trump's trying to get a team in play, but that's more thing for movies. I don't know if that's going to apply to animation. I don't know how much it's going to do at this point until they give more incentives to keep filming here and stop sending better incentives of what it is to go to, the UK or Australia or Canada. They're going to keep leaving. So they're going to have to, the studios just want deals.
If he does manage to somehow save Hollywood, are they gonna run Home Alone 2 with his cameo in it again?
I don't know. They'll probably just say Biden did it before Biden left office or something stupid like that.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.